Now, I got a question that some people may consider controversial. We live in 2026.
Yes.
Some of us have wives, some of us have partners. Do you separate a male's group based off of sexuality?
Me personally, I do not. If you are a human being and you're a man and you love another man, you don't harm children, you're not harming anybody else, I don't care what you do. You're two consenting adults. You have the right, the freedom to do whatever you want to do. If you want to better yourself and be a better person, this place is for you. I don't have anything against that.
And I 100% agree.
I don't look at it like that. It doesn't bother me. I know people in that community that are some of the best people I've ever met. They don't bother me. It doesn't bother me.
I wanted to ask that question because I know that there probably are men, homosexual men, that probably would like to be in a group to discuss their issues, but they probably feel afraid.
Yeah.
Especially amongst a bunch of heterosexual
Yep.
men. And they will soon find out, being in a group like that some of those heterosexual men probably will need their help because they probably having struggles with
Absolutely.
their homosexuality.
Yes, and that's definitely a possibility.
And so I think that us being in one space is warranted.
Yep. It's gonna take a village. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you have to offer, who you are. If you're a good person, you love people, you want to be better, you protect children. We live in a world where children are being trafficked. They're being harmed, and not enough people are upset about it. And it's going to take, doesn't matter what side of the field you're on, it's going to take everybody and to help fix that. And men, you know, we need women. Women are the most important things in our lives, but men are the warriors. They are the fighters. And we need strong men to band together and be friends and be community, you know, in a community together.
So how do you, like, as far as the group goes, how do you hope that the group changes, the people that participate, once they leave the group, a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, so on? How do you hope that affects them in their family life and their everyday life?
I would say probably to choose better habits. I was discussing with a guy who's in the group about alcohol, and I told him, I said, you know, every bad decision I've ever made in my life usually had alcohol in it, you know, and that's not good. Or drugs, whatever, you know, you can insert anything in there that would hinder your bad decision making, you know, or cause you to make bad decisions. So I hope it just breeds good habits. You know, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a, you know, I know a lot about nutrition. I know a lot about what the good foods do for you in your brain and how you function, but I also have guys that are in this group that are nutritionists or have studied that stuff who can help guide you in a direction of, you know, maybe you're going to eat good, healthy, whole foods that's going to, you know, fix your brain to make you feel better rather than you go home and drink a beer or, you know, get high or whatever you choose to do is your vice. You know, we all have our vices. My biggest vice personally is caffeine, man. I want a caffeine right now. You know what I mean? Like, I want some right now, but,
and we all have those vices. It is
yes.
Like, are they vices all the time? Because, like, you have to eat. You have to wear clothes.
Mm-hmm.
These are, you know, certain things you have to do. But eating can become a problem.
Gluttony.
Shopping can become a problem.
Yes.
So I'm saying, is there a way to control certain things that, like, I'm not saying if you don't want to drink, you don't want to drink. But if you want to be, if you want to shop, is there a way to control that? Is there things that you can do to say, well, okay, I need to do that this week, I need to do that this week, and so on?
Yes.
Or do you completely have to cut it off?
So for me personally, because I can't, I mean, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, you know, for me, what's worked for me, If I've had an issue with it, I usually wean off of it. Alcohol, I did quit cold turkey. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in over going on 2.5 years, which is, as a musician, is hard to break at first because you want to drink a couple drinks to loosen up, before you play music. But everybody's different. Some people can quit cold turkey. I know people that have quit cold turkey, and it's fine. Sometimes you go through withdrawals, and things you use, and so everybody's different. It's gonna take discipline, and discipline is not something you're born with. Discipline is something that you can develop over time. And if there's accountability for something like this, like say we meet once or twice a month starting out, and you're making it here every once, twice a month, you're making it here. You can do that. You see yourself doing it. Then why can't you cut that out? And that's coming from somebody that has a hard time cutting out caffeine. So I get it. It's tough. I'm not trying to say I'm better than you. That's not what this is about. I'm saying it's a start. If you can make it a point to come here 2 times a month and you're doing it and you're working out with us and we're having good times, good conversations, then why can't you do something else? That's a start. So my hope is that I start that somebody in the right direction of better. There'll be so many people in here. I've recently gone to therapy. I started in January. So I have a wing to that, like I could direct somebody in that way if they need it, but I'm not going to push it. No way. My wife pressured me for 3 years to go to therapy. It took her 3 years to get me to go, and I finally did, and I'm glad I did. Yep.
But I do understand that a doctor can tap into certain parts of your brain that maybe your friend or some other guy can't.
Yep.
So do you think they're both kind of warranted, or you think therapy is just kind of like?
I think it is, if you choose it and you accept it, it'll help. But it's hard to. So like the reason I never went is because I was not going to take it serious. I'm like with you. I'm like they're not going to understand what I'm going through, what I'm understanding. But the thing for me is I've learned in therapy a lot more about myself than I have about my issues. I didn't go there because I was suicidal or I was having, it was just other issues, other things I was dealing with. But like, you have to want to try it. You have to be open to trying it, just like this. You have to be open to understanding that the goal is to make you a better person. And I don't think you have to go to therapy. I think you can figure it out on your own, but if you need it, it's okay to ask. It's okay to want help, to look for help.
Black men usually do not want to admit that they have something going on. I don't want to necessarily speak with Caucasian men. I'm going to let him speak on for that. But as far as black men go, we will swear to God, ain't nothing wrong. This is our favorite word. And my wife is in here, she'll tell you, you got something, what's wrong with you? No, I'm good, I'm okay. That's our favorite words. When you hear a black guy say, I'm good, I'm okay. No, he ain't.
No.
No, he ain't.
Yep.
So like, as far as Caucasian men, like, is that the same issue?
Absolutely. We have been conditioned, in my opinion, doesn't matter black or white, just men in general, I think have been conditioned to bottle it up, shut up, take it on the chin and move on. And I've done that my whole life. I've bottled it up, I shut down. But my wife is a very loving and caring, pushing person. And she will call you out on your BS when you need it. And that's one of the main qualities I love about her the most. And it's changed me. But I've understood, like, even just putting it into action. This didn't come about just because I thought of it overnight. This came about because I've been having conversations with men, my friends, people I work with, and I've just come to the understanding that we're all the same. We all go through the same issues. We all have same, girlfriend, wife problems, health problems, work problems, money problems, and it's okay to admit that.